course, GIS, Geographic Information Systems, describes our world, the location of where we are, where it's located, and what is it. Geographic Information System is designed to capture, store, manipulate, analyze, manage, and distribute and present all types of geographically referenced data. It is the merging of cartography, statistical analysis, and database technology. Some of these things it's all integrated with IT. And those servers and some of the applications he's talking about are things that are running some GIS applications, because we're probably one of their heavier users as far as their data storage. What data is integrated into a GIS? It incorporates multiple inputs of information and combines them into a mapping format. What was once drawn on paper now is done with computers. So we take, relational databases like his records management system in the sheriff's office that he was talking about. We integrate that in and spatially locate those records on the ground. And then that data is served back out to other end clients, internal customers in the sheriff's office, the detectives, they have access to it. The public has access to it through our Map Nimbus web mapping application. We have what is a GIS, different types of layers that we capture here. It's just layers of information like ownership, property ownership, street information, addressing information, zoning, utilities, political districts, environmental issues, soil characteristics. It's different types of layers of data that are utilized in the GIS. We can create that information that shares and distributes it, reduce data redundancy. We can increase data accuracy by performing project analysis, provide decisions support. We can streamline processes, increase efficiency, automate tasks, and save time and money using GIS. In Wayne County, GIS is structured basically into 3 tiers of users within the staff: Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. The yellow represents the departments that are Tier 1, they're high-level users. They're the departments that are creating data. They do a lot of the data editing, planning, GIS coordinator, GIS parcel mapping in the tax office, and Board of Elections. Cooperative Extension was a Tier 1 power user, but they are now a Tier 3 browser user. In Wayne County, the employees, we use what's called a hybrid system for our GIS department. And what that is we have a coordinator, which is myself, and all other GIS staff members, we utilize existing staff in the departments. They are assigned GIS duties by their supervisor, and then we provide the training and the technical support and for them to utilize the mapping. So this model enables the individual departments to play a role in their utilization of the data and software available to them as they require. And of course, I provide the mapping support for them, for all other departments that don't have a designated staff member. For example, a Tier 1 power user is going to be your tax department. GIS creates the tax department to meet their primary responsibilities of ownership registration, parcel mapping, real property valuation, and data access for the staff and public. GIS provides the tools to efficiently collect, convert, and improve the map data, accurately assess tax parcels, and provide internet and intranet access for the public, business, and other organizations. Of course, cadastral-based mapping is a Tier 1 power user. They are part of the tax office. Their primary responsibilities are mapping property lines, rights-of-way easements, lot dimensions, city limit boundaries for the jurisdictions in Wayne County. And this all has to do with taxation. They also perform custom map production for staff and the public. District Attorney's Office, anybody that, would request a map can get one generated from their storefront. Tier 1 power user is going to be, let's see here, let's back up a little bit. Board of Elections, the voting process is all about geography. To get the correct ballot to the appropriate voter, elections departments must resolve spatial relationship between a voter's address and a political district. Precinct boundaries, water and school districts. The Board of Election uses GIS to make location-based decisions and to prepare maps for the public and staff and local and state and federal agencies. Planning is a Tier 1 power user. Planners deal with spatial information, parcel, zoning, land use data, addresses, transportation networks, flood zones, soils data, contour information, imagery, to name a few. Here's an example of imagery for our 70 bypass that's under construction. And it's got 2010 aerial imagery overlaid on it, and street networks are in there, so you're layering information in to generate the map. Planning is data export, file conversion, CAD integration. We use, integrating CAD files from surveyors and engineers. This is all utilized in GIS. GIS data is made available and possible through our internal network that from our servers and through to the public from our internet websites. Planning continued. Here's an example of flood zones overlaid with parcels, and there's a soils data on the bottom as an example. Emergency services. Tier 2 analytical user. GIS allows emergency services personnel to effectively plan for and dispatch emergency response, determine mitigation priorities, analyze historical events, and predict future events. GIS assists in technical planning and response. GIS databases maintain crucial 911 dispatch data for addressing, street center lines information, water, parcels, automatic aid layers for fire, EMS, police. GIS is also used in response for disaster recovery and damage assessment after a disaster occurs. And then, of course, the GIS coordinator is the other Tier 1 power user. It's my responsibility to plan and implement the policies and projects that were identified in the county GIS strategic plan. The plan was originally performed in 2007. We did a 3-year an update in 2011, and these policies are available or revised. We try to revise them every 3 to 4 years or as needed because of technology changes. This document is available to the public on our website. You just go to our website, go to the GIS page, log in with your username and credentials, and you can access that document. It breaks every department down. It has budget figures. Of course, these are, budget figures proposed for things that departments have, identified as being priorities to them as far as GIS goes. GIS coordinator also, we have here on your screen, you see our listing of our software that we currently have. So we have several software products. It's my job to maintain and manage all the software that's related to GIS and the licensing for the different county departments. All GIS software, no matter what department, is under one license file, so it's not separated out. We also do database capture and editing for 911. And we do all of their tier 1 editing for the 911 center. So if somebody makes a call to your 911 center, call comes in, the GIS data is what's telling that dispatcher who to dispatch. So it's giving the recommendations on the dispatch.
Excuse me. Just, Mr. Daughtery, Do you do all of the mapping for the Board of Elections?
Currently, right, okay, normally Board of Elections would have their own positions.
Right.
So that's a good example. Board of Elections currently does not have the capacity to do the mapping for them. So I step in and do the mapping for them until they fill the position or get somebody trained and qualified that they can do it themselves.
So all the districts as such, those lines and who's in
District
what
boundaries,
district?
district boundaries are decided by the, we just take the data and reproduce the maps. We don't modify the districts for the state, no.
But do you designate the particular district that a voter would be in based upon those boundaries?
Yes.
You do?
Well, they do it, but I assist them. Yes.
You coordinate.
Yes, it's by address. So if your voter record is registered with the state in their database,
Right.
and it has an address with that, they can spatially relate that address onto the map and retrieve what voting districts they are
So
located
someone in the
within.
Board of Elections does that, you just...
If they have issues with
Then they
it,
call you.
then they call me.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
You have the capability to
Yes, sir.
do what they ask you to do, basically.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And it's my intention to empower them to be able to do it for
I bet
themselves.
so.
Because then I can move on to another project and get on, in other areas, because I've got to support every department. And we work the best we can, and
Well,
we have to
currently, they don't have
prioritize.
someone in that position, is what you're
Correct.
saying.
Well, I don't know that they don't have one, we don't have somebody trained to
Oh,
do it,
okay.
yes. Other projects here, we've got special data editing projects, you've got voluntary ag districts. The center application that you see up there on your screen is a hotspot analysis for crime. It's an application we have running in the sheriff's department. They can take crime data and analyze it, all different ways. Zoning, we do our zoning for that. And it's just different gateway bus routing and just different types of projects, special projects as required. Here's some more, and it just goes on and on. I mean, there's lots of necessities, that the commissioners require, other departments require.
Can you pull up the highway, the middle road, the second one from my left?
I can't, they're
Can
just
you enlarge
static
it?
images.
You cannot do it?
I can't, not in a PowerPoint, I can't. Any of those that you'd like to see, though, you can come by my office and see a big one.
Okay.
Which one were you looking at?
The highway system, Wayne County Highway System, economic impact analysis that we did in
Yeah, these are
08.
just static.
They're static
These are
images
static
on a
for
PowerPoint.
presentation purposes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you'd like to see any of those,
We can-
you can get them for you in a larger format.
That and that data would be a good one for anyone related to transportation on the board, Mr. Daughtery, Mr. Pate.
So when it comes to maps, you're the man.
He is.
Well, I
We always
guess.
call you.
And that's what I do, so. Technical support for all software that all the users, we have about 29 desktop users in the county throughout the departments that have software, different types of software. We provide all that support for them, technical support, training. Anytime we deal with an outside contractor or vendor, I handle that. We contract with, if we're taking new imagery, I handle the contracting and work with the contractor through the flight. If we have a project for our web application, is the Rock Technologies, I work with Rock Tech, I handle that coordination. And we'll handle it for other departments if they have a special need or, request me to do so.
So you implemented Ceridian?
No. No, sir. Well, and when you work on something,
I've just.
it always takes a lot of work. But GIS database maintenance and editing. Up on your left, you'll see a database in our server. There's containers for information, and there's some of the containers that you see. And, the information is layered on top of each other to create your map. And we also have a cross-jurisdictional edit, and this is something pretty cool. With 911, the city of Goldsboro likes to kind of be able to manipulate their data as they need it. So we have actually a connection with the city. We edit the same data, and that database is merged together. So we're not responsible for maintaining address points and addressing information inside the city of Goldsboro's 30-some thousand records. They maintain that daily, and we merge that data back every day, and so 911 has access to it whenever they need it. But in the way we used to do business was the city would modify all of their addresses. They'd send us a stack of paperwork over here about every 3 months. We'd have to sit there and go through a couple thousand records, modifying the records. It takes a lot of time. So now they're doing it themselves. We check their work, and we migrate that data back together, and everybody who's on that network has access to the data, and it's done every day. And so it's pretty much live. We go to coordinate, maintain, and manage technical support for our web and server-based applications. So you've probably seen some of them. We have a Go Maps, maps.wayngov.com. It was built in 2007. It's on our website. It's parcel-based, land-based application. It tells you owner's information, soils data, flood zones data, anything of that nature. Map Nimbus is our crime application. Tells you crime information, sex offender information. It also has health department inspections information built into it. ArcGIS Online is a lightweight web viewer that we can build custom web applications that are lightweight. And then we have internally a GeoBlade application. It's a server-based application. The tax office utilizes it, sheriff's office utilizes it, and we're several other departments. And then the center one, the last one that we've built with, Geographic Technologies Group is 311 GIS, which is a citizen request system. So that's kind of something up on this new. One of the other job requirements that I make sure that we, when you take your data, it's just not meant for Wayne County. It's used by local, federal, authorities. So when they get your data, they want it in a certain format, and they want it to look a certain way, and they want it to contain certain fields of information. So one thing that I do is make sure that we are compliant with our data standards and that we have metadata. And metadata is information about the data, so that when somebody gets it from afar off, they can look at our data and see how it was created, when it was last updated, what our projections are, what our coordinate systems are. And we make sure that we meet those standards, and we don't have, they're not mandated to be met, but the state does have a Geographic Information Coordinating Council that sets forth standards and recommendations, and all of our data does meet that. Also, we provide data availability to all the departments and other local, state, federal agencies and the public. We do this by multiple methods. One method is through the North Carolina One Map online application. A person can go there if they're looking at information and retrieve it and download what they need from Wayne County. We are a participating county in that. At the federal level, we participate in the Ramona National GIS Data Inventory. And we also provide through our Wayne Gov website data for download here locally. And we keep that up to date. And we also, if somebody special orders something special, we can make it available through FTP or through, some other means, file upload. And of course, the county staff has access through our network. We provide for departments converting CAD data to GIS, GIS data back to CAD. We have several departments that utilize that. We do have requests from the public to do that, and if they, it's a fairly simple process. We can, if you have a surveyor or engineers requesting some data for a site he's developing, we can do that for him and send that to him, and it gets him a step ahead. We also are doing georeferencing for departments and projections, and when data comes in from somewhere else, it may not be in the correct projection. I'll take that and reproject it for them. We also, with our wide format scanner and printer, we do reprographics for all departments. We make that available. We also provide software and application training to the staff, coordinate for training with ESRI certification, and also preparation and coordination for the GIS budget for the county. We also maintain and develop the GIS homepage and associated documents on the county website. Keep that up to date. Current trends. Trends, of course, are more demand for smartphone and tablet-based mapping applications. We have federal and state mandated data standards for 911 addressing database information, open platform development so that the data can be compiled at the national level. It's not mandated now, but I think in the future you're probably going to see, because the federal government, state government wants to see this 911 information across the board match. So when Wayne County puts their data up against Lenoir County, they don't have to run it through some special process to make it work together. They want it to be uniform and nationwide in content. And of course, they're using it for emergency response and all different types of projects. But I think if you follow the trends, I think that's where it's headed. Also, what you're going to see is more users, adoption and integration by more departments, and then you're going to see more cloud-based applications, web-based applications, software as a solution. That means softwares that are served off of a server, not off of a desktop computer. You're going to see more solutions going in that way. There's also a constant trend for a request for more detailed GIS data from clients. Infrastructure, details about infrastructure, water and sewer, higher resolution imagery. These are all items that people are always demanding more of. How old is your imagery? At one time we were thankful to have 10-year-old imagery. Now people want, you've got 2010, why don't you have 2012, You get that all the time now. So, development goals. To install, maintain, and upgrade and keep our GIS hardware and software up to date. Provide more end-user training, database and metadata documentation continued. Create the plans and procedures for effective integration and transfer of GIS data from various sources into usable databases. Continue to establish mapping standards, establish data security and integrity standards. Serve as the primary contact for the user problems and vendor support. High-level cartography, project management, and interdepartmental collaboration on GIS projects and initiatives. Externally, we'd like to collaborate with other local and regional agencies, such as we have with the City of Goldsboro. Promote public participation. We want to facilitate communications between other government agencies and the public. And of course, continue our presence at local GIS conferences and trainings opportunities. And these are some of our departmental goals. Of course, you see some of our little pictures there. Parcel editing, big one in the county. Of course, let's see here, we missed the slide. Okay, 311 GIS, we will also want to, this is a new application, the continued deployment of 311 GIS. Promote and continue the city-county collaboration. Right now, you have Seymour Johnson. We collaborate with Seymour Johnson. They get data from us. They provide us data. Of critical 911 data that we utilize in our processes. City of Goldsboro, we've got that process set up, but I would probably say you're going to see Pikeville and the smaller towns adopt this type of technology. You're going to have to provide, data to them at some point in time. We want to make sure that those are things that we do. We want to also expand the use of our internet GIS applications, expand it to other departments, make it available to more and more end users. We also want to expand our public access GIS portals. And one way we can do that, you'll see down at the bottom, there's a pressing need for mobile applications. Our website was built 2007, our parcel website. It's basically made for a server, a Windows Explorer, Internet Explorer application. You're going to see people wanting that type of parcel information in a mobile application where they can pull up their phone. It just doesn't work in a phone. It's not built for that. It's not built on that type of technology. So you're going to see, that people are wanting that type of information through their phone. So we're going to have to figure out how to build that and serve that. And of course, let's see here. Go back one. 7 keys. How do we accomplish it? We continue to implement and assist other departments in implementing the details of the GIS implementation plan. We continue to maintain the plan as a working document and make routine updates to it as necessary. Continue to utilize the GIS steering committee and guide and direct the GIS efforts of the county. And by using the information contained in the plan, it gives us a roadmap on the trends. It gives us a roadmap on departmental needs, because I don't work in every department. It would be hard to know exactly what was on the brain or what's on the thoughts of somebody who worked in the Board of Elections office or in Soil Conservation office. So you have to lean on that type of document to really guide what you're trying to accomplish. So, and it also gives you those cost estimates. And total budget in this department this year was $130,700. It's funded by the county. It's not mandated. The GIS data and applications assist with performing state mandated requirements. Taxation and property appraisal, 911 dispatch-based GIS information, addressing streets, emergency service number district, HB 1779 is your tax and tag system with the DMV. That data that generates, that cites those vehicles at their home is our county GIS data. Number of employees under that budget is 0. Your staff is already, being tagged with being the GIS person in their department specific. There's 1 GIS coordinator and 2 dedicated staffs for cadastral land records in tax. Otherwise, the staff are utilized throughout the county to carry out the priorities for each department.
How many do we have, Mr. Smith?
GIS folks?
About 29 currently.
Okay.
Yes. And one little thing here on the last statewide digital ortho photography. In 2010, we were part of a grant program. We do participate in some grant programs. That's not in that budget. This was a grant. We received our 2010 aerial imagery from the state, from a statewide flyover. It is 6-inch resolution. It meets property land records mapping standards that the state sets. And we are in a 3-year cycle. The state has decided to refund that and is reflying it, and we're being reflown now. So we've got 2010, and we'll have imagery in 2013, late fall, and that is about a $225,000 cost to the county that was paid for through the state 911. So that's a pretty nice perk there from them. And previously, it was on the county to fly those if they wanted it. So I hope they continue that cycle of every 3-4 years. And so that is the end of the presentation. If you got
Any questions, commissioners?
One question.
Okay.
Of the 29 individuals associated with this GIS, is their duty only GIS? So
No.
it's other various duties?
Multi-duty. Even myself, I am multi.
Multi.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
I made some notes, and thank you very much for your presentation, Chip.
Yes, sir.
One is the '03 tax data versus the '08 tax data, and moving into the 2013 tax data once it's completed for the road structure, the main 6 roads in Wayne County, just a sort of quarter mile each side to get all the numbers of the parcels, in particular 70 and 117. The other is what we just went through in elections with the voting districts, and sanitary districts in particular. The Utility Commission is needed to move forward in getting with you more so than we have in the past in order to get the water, sewer, and gas for economic development. The trend is that these economic developers, as you mentioned, are calling in, particularly in these the transportation issues that we're having on the interchanges on the outer loop and the land use planning for planning. But we've been using this extensively for the last 4 years, and anytime your department needs something on the map, give Chip a call and Connie. But they've been really, really helpful. Chip, you're doing a great job, and just need to continue to supply you with the necessary technology to get it done.
One thing about the county is being proactive about, because, GIS started in the tax office, and it was many years ago. I'm going to say 91, probably, when it was tax mapping went from line drawings to digitizing or a form of CAD drawing the lines. So, it's being involved, but it's come out of the back room of the tax office, and now it's embraced by multitudes. So, and you make it available, make it accurate, and then you utilize it to your best advantage. And there's many returns on investment that you can look at. Instead of an assessor having to go out into the field, if he can access that site on his computer, he sees a picture of it, he can tell there's an addition, a deck, or pool, or whatever. That's just an example.
And one follow-up is with the municipalities of Wayne County. How up-to-date are we with the municipalities as far as water, sewer, and gas? Are you coordinating? Is that ours?
Well, we do map our own water line features. Water line features are one data layer that do have guidelines over how it's captured. Has to be supervised by a licensed engineer. The GIS data does. Okay. So the city of Goldsboro has features for their sewer and water. The gas is private, and the electrical is private, and there's great difficulty in getting that information from those entities. Some of them do not have GIS data for it at all. Some of the power lines.
What about sanitary districts? Getting that information?
Sanitary districts?
Yes.
As far as
Is
the
it private,
district,
or can you
district boundaries, or no?
No, just the water, sewer, gas, all running through each
Sanitary
district.
districts.
Yeah.
I think it's the municipalities, we want Goldsboro, and we believe Fremont and Pikeville we do not have, I think. I don't believe
We have a lot
those
of-
in its entirety.
That's correct. As far as water line information, sewer line information.
Yes,
We're
we do.
probably, for planning purposes,
Yes.
we have probably 90% of the water lines in the county.
Okay. I was just thinking of layering on top of
Right.
areas that are predominantly developable, and some of those areas in the highway
Right.
transportation part and land use planning for transportation.
That's right.
Any other questions?
So we don't have any set maps for natural gas lines in the county?
Proprietary.
It's proprietary.
Just the main line.
The main
Just,
one.
just a main line. If they have a special project, they're dealing with a specific area, they may give you the data for that specific area, but they won't release their data in its entirety.
Fiber networks, they will release, it's proprietary, they will do it on a case-by-case, site-by-site. You give them the site, they'll say, we have X available. We have X current, we have X, fiber kit, whatever,
Now, one thing we have started doing since Matt moved to the mapping office downstairs, we are capturing right-of-ways. So if you have a power line easement right-of-way that crosses the property, we used to did not
Kind of
map
figure it
that. Now, we are capturing that. But we're not going back, or we haven't, so that would be a huge project to go back and capture it. But ever since he's been there, we got it to where we could map those easements, and we're capturing them from here on out. So that's, a little bit more information, because people are wanting more. They want the right-of-way information. And at one time, that wasn't a big issue. Access easements, rights of way across property, people were not interested in that at one time. Now they are. So we thought we would address it and go ahead and start from now on. But
Thank you. Thank you. Any others? Thank you very much.
okay.
Are we going to take a break so you can set up? Is that
we
what you're asking?
need to change DVDs out.
Okay.
If we recess for